Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I've got game number 1 of a best of 1 coming up. It is just going to be some ZvT action going down on AlaStOr Waste, and spawning in the top left hand position is none other than the red Zerg. It's AlaStOr, who is a Grandmaster Zerg player, and his opponent down in the bottom right is the blue Terran from the team Core. It is ColdScars. Core is an awesome team, by the way. They're a real up-and-coming group, and they've got some cool things planned. So definitely some people to keep an eye out for. AlaStOr, I don't believe he's actually on a team. He's not got a clan tag or anything, but my knowledge could be lacking there. And if it is, I do massively apologize should AlaStOr ever watch it. And, well, of course, he's a great player, so definitely someone teams should look at trying to pick up. Now, what's going to be going down on this map is really up for debate at the moment. Not seeing anything really hugely influential. No early, say, proxy 2 axes or things like that, so it could still be a CC first. It could be a Reaper opening. My personal money on AlaStOr Waste would be for a Reaper opening against Zerg, just because you can get a nice bit of scouting information up. There's a lot of cliff area you can utilize to bounce around at and just get up through, so I think that Reapers are pretty solid, but so is a command center first, just because it's quite a large map. Even though it's a 2 spawn position, well, you can still get it down very happily. So as it stands, drones coming out across the map, going to get a little bit of scouting information, really try and find out what's happening. Really, I'm expecting AlaStOr to most likely try to go down for a hatch first. As we're seeing, 15 drones, drone already getting pulled there, and yeah, we should definitely be going into a hatchery, and as expected, it comes down. Now, this drone did dart up a little bit, just checking to see if there was any proxy axis, and that's a safe thing to do, but ColdScars, he's just going straight into a CC first, so really things looking fairly safe for him at the moment. Getting his part of the wall off at the front I always think is a really good move. You get the barracks to complete that. But we've also got this annoying drone just going to try and chip away at the SCV building, the CC, but not going to be able to get a kill because already another one pulled. The barracks on its way out, and yeah, everything's going to plan. And now the choice really comes down to AlaStOr. Does he go for a quick third, which isn't going to be like a pull, then straight away into a super fast third? That'd be really risky, but more likely just getting it down as quickly as he can. Or does he go for something a bit more aggressive, mainly a couple of speedlings to try and take out this command center once it does go down towards the natural? But the drone getting some good scouting, sees that there's a gas there, will become an extractor. Now, this extractor does 2 things. Firstly, it means that the drone stays alive temporarily, that's good. But more critically, it blocks off a gas, and blocking off this extractor so that the Terran player can't actually use it simply means that you can rule out certain things. You can rule out a really quick tech play, you can rule out them getting upgrades down too fast either, and it's just going to be quite beneficial for you. Plus, it adds to the bit of scouting information as well, because if a Marine comes over to start attacking and you know, well, if he's attacking my extractor, he most certainly is not coming to attack my base. So that's really all the benefits to gain through that. For the moment, no gases have been taken from AlaStOr, so he may go in for a bit of Zerging aggression. He's getting 2 queens out. There's the gas though, and it's... oh, sorry, no, this is the gas on the other side of the map. Yeah, look at the production tab now, it's on my screen. That's pretty important to see. But yeah, extractor gets cancelled, restarted. One Marine can't out DPS a building extractor, which is really why you can get this delay going for just so long. Bunker is coming up here. We've got 2 lings making their way forward, but all in all, with no gases being taken actually for gas income, the Zerg player is going to be able to expand towards a third very quickly, and that's going to be helpful just to deal with this. Note the extractor is allowed to finish, just delaying this for as long as possible. 2 lings also make their way up. Going to start going to town on that SCV. If they were able to kill it, that'd be very good, but unfortunately, a second Marine coming in there, sees the reactor being made, and well, getting that reactor down just means more Marine production. Critically, it says there's not going to be any super fast stim or anything like that. So lots of scouting information coming through. Meanwhile, unfortunately for ColdScars, he's not really seen too much. He knows there's a spawning pool and that there's an expansion of the natural, but not much else. Double gases are now coming down here for AlaStOr back at home. He's actually getting 3 gases up. Okay, that's very gas heavy, considering we'd normally expect to see a third base within the next 30 seconds or so. Getting this down, I would expect to see fairly soon maybe a Roach Warren or a Baneling nest added into this mix just to go really aggressive. It could be a Roach Baneling bust, certainly plausible. Note the armory coming up nice and early, so this is going to be a meching Terran player. And the reason we know it's going to be mech is simply because he's getting an armory before an engineering bay. There's no other benefit to getting an armory out this soon. Only thing that he does really get is that with that armory, Well, actually, no, it's just the mech upgrades pretty much. So, yeah, all looking good. Roach coming down just as expected there. The lair as well. This could be a Roach speed timing play. Note that there's still no third, and we're getting up to about the 7-minute mark now. So, the Zerg player, AlaStOr, has been on equal basis with ColdScars for quite a while. ColdScars moving forward for the time being, though, with these Hellions. And, well, he's just going to poke around a bit. Doesn't have too many out on the field yet, so it's not anything too scary. Really just going to be able to come down and check to see whether there is a third hatchery or not. The Queen's getting a little bit of stabbing in there, because stabbing Queens is always good fun. The Rotoron nearly finished up. It's been scouted, and Hellbats, of course, are now in production. Wow, I can't believe I forgot that that's what the armory's for. Some Hellbats. All going to be good now. But yeah. Hellbat drops going to be incoming. There's the medevac, of course. We've got a Marauder coming there too. A couple of additional barracks. So forget everything I said. Goddo was a noob. I was assuming that it was going to be a mech play, but no. It is just going to be some Hellbat drops, which is not something you see all too often, actually. So, once they got changed so that they needed Blue Flames to deal that ridiculous amount of damage, many Terran players just not using them as significantly as they were before. But at the moment, we do see that these Hellions just getting forced back by the Queens at the moment. They've done a couple of shots of damage. Roaches still sitting in the back. Note that a lot more Roaches are in production, and Roach speed is coming down. Now, significant groups of Roaches are going to be very effective against Hellbat drops. Very, very effective, just due to the fact that Hellbats can't really DPS them down that effectively. But yeah, Marauders, they're on their way out. A couple more barracks being added on. Still a lot of Marauder production as a whole, which is going to be quite nice against the Roaches, which are now moving out. It's been scouted. The Queen's making their way over just to come and try and deal with this medevac. But the medevac should boost straight up in towards the natural, where there isn't actually too much in terms of defense. We've got a couple more Roaches getting ready to pop out. The drones are now taking some damage. They're clumping up a little bit there, but only one Hellbat did come out. Roaches making their way across the map, though. Not much in the way of AoE damage, no Widow Mines or tanks, but there are quite a few Marauders to help deal with these Roaches for the time being. The Queen's still trying to work away at the medevac, will get it. The Hellbats are getting taken out, but it's the bunker. The ColdScars is taking all the damage for the time being. The Marauders trying to work their way through, but without the bunker, that's less defense. Unfortunately, the Hellbats are doing a great job of tanking up all the damage, so AlaStOr will be forced to retreat for the time being. His drone count is pretty low, 38, compared to the 48 SCVs currently down for the Terran, and that's because there's been such investment in these Roaches. They've got to do some more damage. Currently, 6 workers have been killed, but those are actually on ColdScars' side. So really, AlaStOr needs to see some more damage done. He's sending a change up on in there just to get a little bit of a peek of what's occurring. Unfortunately, the Hellbat is going to put a very quick end to that, so not going to get too much information. But up from the Roaches, waiting to see if there's anything being rebuilt. They will snipe off one of those Hellbats very quickly. More damage is being done, but are the Roaches going to be able to do enough? Can they actually break through here? Well, there's so many Marauders, that's the problem. There's still 5 down on the field. They're dealing just such a high amount of DPS, even without Stim or any other upgrades. And the Roaches, once more, forced to retreat back. The Overseer was there just in case there were any Widow Mines, but there aren't. So even without those, just the sheer number of Marauders and the Hellbats able to tank the damage just force those Roaches back. ColdScars, though, does not yet know, I don't believe, about that third. He's seen it being in construction, but should know that it's actually being built up now. So there we go. Drones coming up, and well, AlaStOr seems to think that there may be a hack. I don't think there was. It was always going to be this sort of build coming through. But yeah, up comes a nice little move. Are we going to be able to see this push do any more damage? Well, the Roaches coming forward once again. The Marauders just doing so much DPS to these Roaches, especially if concussive shells can catch them as they are trying to retreat. But scans coming down, we see ColdScars just using that to take out a couple of these creep tumors, still moving further forward. And while the Roaches got to try and get a good hold here, can there be enough out? There's a couple of Banelets trying to come down, so we can see some Baning shortly. There aren't that many Marines, actually. It's mainly just Marauders and Hellbats. Very vulnerable if there were any Brutalisks on the way, but against these Roaches, incredibly effective. The medevacs just healing up the Hellbats just to help them through, but unfortunately they're out of energy at the moment. AlaStOr is going now to be able to stop this push from coming too much further forward, and, well, for the moment, levels things out. Third CC coming back behind this for ColdScars. He's also getting out more medevacs, still producing a good number of Marauders and Marines, as well as getting the double upgrades. For AlaStOr, he doesn't have any upgrades on the way yet. He doesn't even have an evolution chamber, so he's not going to be... He's going to get behind there pretty quick, but he has got a lot of forces on the ground right now. But does ColdScars have enough in order to defend this? And I think the answer is yes, because there's a good number of Marauders still. These Roaches don't have upgrades, and once 1-1 kicks in, that's really where we'll see quite a big lead actually get generated for ColdScars. If AlaStOr keeps going on with these Roaches only, it could be a bit problematic. But yeah, still Roach is trying to find an avenue of attack. Don't believe that. Has the third actually been seen? That'd be quite an important thing. No, it hasn't. So no knowledge yet of that. So there's not going to be an attempt yet from AlaStOr to secure up a fourth base. But if there was, that would be obviously really beneficial. The second armory coming down too. So I'm not sure if this was actually a mistake and the second armory is there just in order to get down the super quick 2-2, or if he just wants to go for the double mech upgrades. I suspect it was just a misplacement, not remembering that he had the previous one, but SCVs have been pulled down. Unfortunately, a Roach is there. The command center not yet floating, so that could be a problem. The Roaches, as they are trying to retreat, are getting picked off. The first Widow Mine about to hit the field at the 14:30 mark, so very late on to get some of that splash, but needed in order for those Banelings to get taken out effectively. Now, this one Roach has been doing a bit of a fun time. He's already got 4 SCV kills. Probably going to rack up 5 before he's done here. May even get a 6th one. Can he be a hero? And the answer is no. He got taken out hard. But still, 5 SCV kills. Pretty good for one Roach. ColdScars moving back. No 2-2 upgrades are coming down. He cancelled that second armory as well. Realised that he already made one to get those Hellbats earlier. So, can this actually now become something where ColdScars can deal with the push that's coming? Well, he's very low on Marines. He's got a lot of Marauders and a lot of Hellbats, which aren't actually that badly affected by Banelings, specifically the Marauders, whereas the Roaches are getting quite sizable in numbers. But remember, the 1-1 upgrades are done. That affects the Marauders and the Marines. The Hellbat drop, trying to move forward, but then suddenly sees, hang on, that is a lot of Roaches coming through. Needs to spread these units just so the Banelings don't deal too much. Concussion Show trying to hold everything back. Nice little stutter step micro away, but AlaStOr just has so much stuff here. Still pushing through. A Widow Mine does detonate, but the Banelings trying to get that beautiful connection, trying to crush through things, make it up into the main base. This is problematic. The Banelings still not connecting, though not trying to detonate. They want to get some big hits just like that. And now AlaStOr is in a very good position. He's in the main with a lot of units. There's not much to defend with, and he's just starting to pick up a lot of SCVs. There's still more units streaming through. Natural base is getting cleaned up, but look at just how much is in the main for the moment. So many SCVs getting taken down here. AlaStOr taking a monumental lead in terms of the economy, and still more Hellbats are getting taken down. More Marauders getting taken down. The Roaches just attempting to sneak their way through, but they're slowly evaporating, slowly getting taken out as reinforcements trickle in. But in the main, there's still a lot there. The third base has got one lone, or does have one SCV chipping away at things. Well, one zone chipping away at the SCVs, but are we going to see some more coming in there? Yes, there's quite a few speedings. That Widow Mine is still on cooldown, so not going to do too much more. The command center in the main gets taken out. The double engineering bay probably won't die just due to these units getting back there, but a lot of SCVs now getting slaughtered at the third, and so many SCVs getting taken out. Only 15, soon to be 14 remaining on the field. That is problematic, especially since the main orbital command was taken out. That means there's only 2 mules, which limits how much of a comeback can be made from that. So a great push by AlaStOr. Can ColdScars somehow bring this back? When he's got the 2-2 upgrades up against no upgrades yet of AlaStOr, so obviously 2-2 up against 0-0 is pretty good, but that is a lot of Banelings. 17 morphing in here. The double evolution chambers now getting started for AlaStOr. Realizes he needs to go for some upgrades. But for the moment, what's going on? More mules getting cooled down. We've got ColdScars trying to squeeze out a few more units. He's very starved of minerals. That's what he so desperately requires. And, well, with, of course, the mules getting cooled down, it does allow him to get some out. But look at the army supply. 97 to 65. Total supply is 152 to 85. Nearly double that. Nice little drop, though. We'll discover the 4th hatchery that's coming down now. Going to be able to pick that up without a cancel, which is always good. But look at this move in towards the natural. This is going to be problematic. The Banelings do take a hit from a Widow Mine, but hardly any go down. They come crashing forward, dealing so much damage to everything that they come in contact with. And now the Roaches and Speedlings streaming in as well. A couple of Banelings trying to morph up in the main. The Marines doing a good job of trying to stop that though. But there's just so much swarm here at the moment. Can the drop in the main really level things out? Well, the 2-2 upgrades are helping. They're allowing these units to trade as cost effectively as possible, but the mass just isn't there for the time being. There's a small trickle out of units. And for the moment, ColdScars is cleaning this up, but he's taking significant losses at the natural and at the third. He's down to just 4 SCVs. That is incredibly low. And bear in mind that he's lost these mules as well, being a bit of a problem. However, this one drop is dealing a lot of damage. It's taking out the spawning pool. It's taking out the evolution chambers. Drones are going down as well. So even though ColdScars only has the single SCV, he does still have 2 mules. He does still have units out in the field. He's actually up in the army supply currently. This can be problematic for AlaStOr because there's another Hellbat drop at the natural base. These Banelings though, which are morphing, will temporarily stop the Hellbats, but they're coming straight down towards the third, and with the spawning pool having to be remade, there's no more Zerglings on their way, only Roaches in order to defend. But look at the damage these Marines are doing. They're racking up loads of kills, loads of buildings basically taken down, and of course ColdScars still sitting here. He's going like, well, better call some more mules, and he can call quite a few of them, 2, 3 down already, and well, the drop has done significant damage. Army supply still 10 in favor of the Terran player with the 2-2 upgrades compared to no upgrades, and that spawning pool heavily delayed, plus the lair was taken out, so this is now a very funky game. Not quite sure which way it's going to go, because AlaStOr's committed so much to this mid-game aggression that his economy wasn't so great, and also his tech was really lacking, and not to mention the upgrades. So while we do see these units still coming in, a Marine for a Baneling is always a good trade there, and the Medevac will pull back for the time being. All in all, can we see some more drones get taken out? Well, the Roaches having to be very defensive for the moment, just keeping them alive for as long as they can. The Widow Mines are still down. We've still got good production actually coming out, because there's so much gas for ColdScars. All he needs is the minerals, trying to squeeze out as much as he can, trying to squeeze out this double SCV production, just to get a bit more income. He's not actually that far behind. If we take a look at the incoming minerals, it's relatively equal thanks to those mules, even though there's only 4 SCVs. And now with a push from AlaStOr, no, there's a Widow Mine there. It does detonate only on the one Roach though, so nice control, just making sure that that stays down. But he's got to try and push up here. He's only got the one Baneling, 25 Roaches. Is there going to be enough? Well, with the upgrades, of course, this infantry just tears through everything. There's a lot of Medevacs as well, 10 of them. Huge healing potential. And healing against Roaches is really effective, because they have not the highest DPS. So, of course, that means that getting out-healed by can be very frustrating. The Maraud is dealing a lot of damage. The Banelings are morphing in behind us, but can they get focused out in time? Well, a couple will make it through into completion. The scan being used to see what's behind those bushes. Gonna try and knock it out. A couple of Banelings do detonate, but AlaStOr leaves the game as he's left with no army supply. So congratulations there to ColdScars, who just through sheer grit and determination was able to win. Now, I want to know in the comment section, what do you guys think of mules? Are they good units? I think we might be getting a little bit of discussion about that. But of course, if you like the game, make sure you like the video, leave a cool comment and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with yet another new cast. I'm Madals, thanks for watching, and bye for now.